My sister left, she moved out, left me alone in the attic, and that was where my real low point was. I was cornered. I didn't know what to do, bro, at that time. I had a dead end job I hated, and I didn't know where to go. My girl was pregnant. Let me tell you something real. This is not a pitch. It's not a highlight reel. It's just the story of how I became the coach I am today. What really made me the person who I am, the man you're looking at right now, and how I built a program that actually works for busy professionals. I'm Clifford Telfer, and I grew up in St. Anne, Jamaica. My childhood wasn't the neatest or the tidiest. It was loud, messy, and full of energy. So I lived between my mom's house in St. Anne and my pops in Kingston. So that's where I met my cousin, who was my first role model for discipline. So I would watch him do 300 push-ups and 200 pull-ups every single day, morning and night. Whenever I come from work, he just go straight to that shit, bro. And we used to train for football together. And I love football. That was my pride and joy. That was my dream, my goal to go pro in football. But I was also a trouble kid. I was in school fighting, making trouble. You feel me, hitting on girls and stuff. And one day I got into a serious fight that landed me into some serious trouble. And everything changed from there. So my mom decided, yo, that she gonna send me off to America. So we came to America on what was supposed to be a family visit back in 2017. And my sister needed help with her kids, so I had to stay back and help watch my nieces. And then and there, took me a while to really find my footing, like what I was really gonna do with my life, being at a young age, not knowing where I was going, what was my purpose and stuff. So I turned to fast food. I was isolated because back in Jamaica, right, I used to know everybody. Everyone in my surrounding was like family. I know everything. So the change of environment, I felt isolated from what I know. And the way I coped with that was drinking, heavy drinking, fast food, 2 pizzas per week, 2 burger every single day, large fries, milkshake and all that shit. I didn't have access to that shit in Jamaica, so I make sure I dive into all of that, and that really drove me down into a spiral because I got unhealthy. I tried out for a football team and I didn't make it. And one day my cousin called who was talking. I was telling him that I feel like I'm lost, and he was like, "Yo, you gotta snap out of that, bro. You can't. You're too young to be depressed. You feel my life. You just started life, so you gotta snap back. That's not like you." He's like, "Yo, your job is sitting on your shoulders. You're getting fat." So that it kind of stung, but it was the wake up call that I needed. So I started running around my apartment complex. You feel me? Doing push ups, sit ups, doing whatever I could to really get back into shape. And I met this OG who I used to work out with at the poolside. You feel me? I helped him get back into some physical activity, and for that, he gave me my first piece of equipment. He gave me a rusty old bench and a few dumbbells made out of what was it? Concrete, yeah, concrete, and a bar. Bro, I appreciated that so much. Took that to my backyard and set that up and started working more. You feel me? So I started transforming, cutting down the weight, and then I started posting my transformation on Instagram. You feel me? And then people will usually like hit me up and be like, "Yo, what kind of workouts you doing? What food should I eat to really lose some weight and that?" And you feel me? And I gave them what worked for me. I didn't really know exactly what to tell them because I wasn't educated on it. So I told them what worked for me. And some of them will hit me back and be like, "Yo, you know what you told me the other day that really helped? You feel me? I'm seeing some progress in losing the weight. You feel me? And the workouts feel better now and stuff." So that really gave me a feeling of accomplishment. Like that was my purpose. I felt good when people say, "Yo, that advice really helped them on their fitness journey." So fast forward from there, we moved from the apartment complex and we moved into a house that we rented. And you know life. Life happens, and when life hits, that shit hits hard. The house got burned down and we had to move into an attic space. It wasn't really a home. It was dusted, wide open, and it had no walls. It was my uncle's attic, so we made it work. And I had to took up a dead end job at the cheesecake factory. So just imagine I'm trying to stay disciplined, right? And I'm working in a place full of cupcakes, cheesecakes, all different kind of temptation on every shift. So I tried holding on for a while, but I was chasing Instagram virality at that time. So I was starving myself just trying to stay shredded. So I was posting all kind of photos, shredded, you feel me, semi-nude photos, looking lean and nice. I was doing whatever I could to get attention so I could get sponsorship deals, right? And it worked briefly till I got banned. And that shit came at a cost. It came at my mental health, my energy, my relationship with fitness and everything. You feel me? I was trying too much to hold on to single digit body fat. Like it was everything. And once I got banned, the followers went down. Right? I lost some sponsorship because I couldn't post everything they wanted. And I was demotivated. So it drove me into a spiral and it got worse. And I posted something about the rainbow flag, and that's what got my account banned, and all the followers and everything vanished. So the spiral started there, got into a little depressive mode. So I would go to work. When I come home, I would eat 2 boxes of oatmeal cream pie. I would just leave the store and just eating that shit. And till one day, like one of the guys at the liquor store, because I used to stop and get liquor too. The guy at the liquor store be like, "Yo, I see you walking and eating that shit." You feel me? So it's crazy, yo, just looking back at it. I used to ride my bike through the blazing sun, through a storm just to get to work, bro. Right? And nobody even messed with me in the building like that. And that time, my girlfriend at that time got pregnant too. My sister left, she moved out, left me alone in the attic, and that was where my real low point was. I was cornered. I didn't know what to do, bro, at that time. I had a dead end job I hated, and I didn't know where to go. My girl was pregnant, and I didn't know how to provide. I felt like I was trapped. But somewhere in that low point, I started buying books. I started investing in my development, personal development, investing in my mindset. So I started buying books like How to Win Friends and Influence People, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Anti Fragile, Planet Earth, and 4 Hour Work Week. I started listening to all the podcasts about how to change your life, how to change mindset and all that. You feel me? So when I thought about my life, I started writing down my goals. And it came a day that I got fired from the Cheesecake Factory job. And I also got my first paying client on that day. It was a strange flip. Feel me? I lost my job, but I gained some purpose in the same afternoon, bro. My first coaching client, it reminded me why I started sharing my progress on Instagram in the first place. I felt alive again. I felt like my purpose was here again. Like I finally had direction of where I was going, what I was put here to do. I started rebuilding myself slowly. So I had to cut out the drinking, started training harder, and I got certified. But coaching wasn't just about giving someone a workout plan. One of my first real clients as a coach was a busy woman, a businesswoman who was running a 7 figure company. She was always on calls, always traveling. She had PCOS. She always had a rigid program and it didn't fit her lifestyle. So I had to design something new, the Triumph It program. It had 3 pillars: efficient workout that fit into pocket time, performance focused nutrition that works for our client dinners, travel, and accountability structure that plugs into an executive calendar. It wasn't about punishment, it was about designing a system that respects a leader's lifestyle. But not everything was smooth. That client left 2 months after, and I went back to having no income again. But this time, I didn't let it break me. I went back to the drawing board, redefine the Triumphant program until it could actually carry someone through late nights, long flights, impossible schedule. Then it paid off. I signed a pharmacist who was studying for his boards and he was working two jobs at that time. So I posted his story so you could go back and see it. So Kiribel, that's his name. He lost over 70 pounds in the program while still studying for his boards and working two jobs. That's the exact moment I knew that this program actually worked. He didn't sacrifice his career, he didn't sacrifice his time, his schooling, his work, none of that. Since then, I've worked with growing numbers of busy professionals, executives, founders, leaders, people who travel, manage team, manage staff, and they need to perform. I've helped them reclaim their energy, their confidence, their focus. I can look at myself today and be proud to call myself a fitness coach because I've created this program that helped change the life of 10 plus busy professionals. Even though that one client left, the numbers grew. And she had a good reason to leave. I was trying to be too strict, training her the way how I would. So I had to learn that. And from there, I perfected my craft. But looking back at my journey, Jamaica, the fights, the attic, chasing the viral moments, the band, the books, the day I got fired, I turned into my first client. And my girlfriend, who was pregnant, but a few months, she had a miscarriage. I can see a single thread now. I kept showing up, I kept reiterating until I built something that fits real life. And it worked for me, build resilient through that. And that's the way how I coach. I coach everyone who come in my program, coach them to be resilient. So if this story connects with you, if you're a busy executive or a busy leader, and you're tired of trying programs that expect you to rearrange your life, I'm opening a few spots for a focus professional for a 90-day triumphant transformation. How this work? We'll map out your real schedule, build micro habits that stack, and create a nutrition strategy that works for your meetings and your travel. So there's no starvation, no restriction, no living in the gym, just a system that respects you and who you are and what you do. If you want to talk, click the link below or DM me on Instagram at Coach Clifford. Tell me your top 3 schedule constraint and I'll tell you exactly how we'll fit your transformation around them. I don't want to sell you a fantasy or anything like that. I want to help you build a life where health fuels your leadership. I appreciate y'all very much for listening to my story. If it resonates, drop a like, leave a comment, or reach out. And I'd appreciate if you guys subscribe. Let's grow this channel. I'll talk to y'all soon.